welcome to Huddle Daily. I'm your host, JC Hyatt, and thanks for tuning in today. Happy Monday. I will say I've had a really fun time making this podcast over the past week, just trying to figure out how it all works. This is actually my first podcast, so bear with me. And I'm still trying to figure some stuff out, and also still trying to get used to the sound of my voice, which I am not thrilled about. I'm not sure if I ever will be. But anyway, I'm going to stop rambling on that. That's not what you're here to learn about. You are here to learn about cryptocurrency. And today I wanted to talk a little bit about how to buy your first Bitcoin the easy way. Maybe you already were familiar with Bitcoin to an extent, or maybe you're not. Either way, maybe you know enough to feel like it's a big deal, and you're convinced that it's going places, and you want to be a part of this, and that's great. And there's actually a pretty low barrier of entry, lower than you would expect to get in to buy your first Bitcoin. And so I wanted to share a little bit about that today. We're really only going to be covering Bitcoin, but you actually could use the same exact method I'm going to describe to buy Ethereum or Litecoin, because all three are on the same exchange that I'm going to tell you about. As far as other currencies, I will be covering how to buy other currencies like altcoins like Ripple or Stellar Lumens or Sia Coin or whatever. I will be covering how to buy altcoins in a future episode. And I'll also be covering more details about each of these coins and then some specifically in future episodes. And so today is just a very high level view of how to get your first Bitcoin, how to just get in. And with that, here we go. So what we're going to use, or what I highly recommend you use to take your first step into crypto, is Coinbase. Coinbase is a digital currency exchange based in the United States that allows you to exchange fiat currency, such as United States dollars, for cryptocurrency. They support Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. That's the only three coins they support, but they have done an amazing job of being very user-friendly. That's, I think, who they've really tried to go after, is people who are really just trying to dip their toes into everything. And they have knocked the experience out of the park. So they made it super, super easy, and that's why I recommend starting here. Once you have cryptocurrency in Coinbase, you can move it to another exchange and start trading it with, for other coins like Ripple or whatever you want to buy. But essentially, if you're not understanding, or if you're not familiar with the term exchange, it's just like any other currency exchange. So, if you land in Paris and you need to get some euro, you go to a money exchange and you exchange some dollars for some euro. So it's essentially the same exact thing, except you're going to be exchanging some dollars for some crypto. All you really need to do to get started is go to Coinbase.com, or if you want, you can use a special sign-up link I have, which I'll put in the show notes. If you use it, we will both get $10 worth of Bitcoin for free if you sign up and you buy or sell at least $100 of Bitcoin. So that link is hodldaily.com/CB. But I'll put that link in the show notes. So some questions I anticipated today was, okay, this sounds great, but what if I don't have enough money to buy one Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin's at like $6,500 today. Well, the good news is you don't actually have to purchase a full coin. You can, with cryptocurrency in general, not just Bitcoin, you can purchase fractions of coins. So you can purchase, as much or as little as you want. Currently, Bitcoin is divisible to the 8th decimal place. This might change in the future. Technically, it's infinitely divisible, as I understand it. But currently, it's divisible to the 8th decimal place. And so, the United States dollar goes to the second decimal place. Bitcoin goes to the eighth currently. Um, the smallest unit is actually referred to as a Satoshi. So that eighth decimal place is actually referred to as a Satoshi. This is named after Bitcoin's mysterious creator, Satoshi Nakamoto, and we will cover more on that later as well. A note I wanted to give you before you go and do all this is just about Coinbase's limits. So Coinbase, along with pretty much any other exchange out there that's exchanging fiat currency for cryptocurrency, and maybe even the ones that aren't doing it with fiat currency, they all pretty much have limits on how much you can buy each week. So if you were planning on jumping in today and buying like $100,000 worth of Bitcoin, you can do that, but Coinbase is probably not what you want to use. There is another exchange that I would recommend, which is actually owned by Coinbase. It's kind of like a super exchange on top of Coinbase called GDAX, GDAX. I will cover more on that in a future post. I'm going to assume at this time that maybe you're not trying to buy $100,000 worth of Bitcoin today. But as far as those limits, you're going to have limits when you first sign up. You can increase these by buying more over time. So, you start off with like maybe like $5,000 that you can buy of Bitcoin. And then once you buy your 5,000, it will increase to like 7,500 or something, and it'll just keep going up. You can also increase that limit by verifying more aspects of your identity. And so just check out the settings section of the Coinbase app, or the website. If you're on the website, just check out the settings and see what different forms of verification you can provide, because those will also allow you to increase that weekly limit. Also, you don't have to use just your bank account. Coinbase actually even lets you purchase cryptocurrency with a credit card. So there's multiple ways to kind of get involved, even if you don't have any cash right now, and maybe you just want to, which I wouldn't really recommend. If you don't have any cash, you probably shouldn't be investing in cryptocurrency or buying cryptocurrency, but you can, and that is an option. Another question I was anticipating today is Coinbase secure? You may have heard of the infamous Mt. Gox hack. No worries if you haven't. Don't worry about it. But it's a big stain on the history of Bitcoin, and obviously it didn't kill Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is at $6,500 for one coin now. But if you are wondering if Coinbase is going to cause you to lose all the money that you spend on crypto, just like Mt. Gox did for some of its users, I wouldn't worry. There's no such thing as hack proof. Whoever says that their system is unhackable is probably either naive or they're lying to you, unless it's offline. I mean, anything connected to the internet can be hacked. But that's actually the cool thing about Coinbase is they keep 97% of their crypto reserves in cold storage. Now, that might be a new term for you too, but all you have to know is essentially cold storage is it's a wallet, or probably for them multiple wallets, that are not connected to the internet. They're actually most likely paper wallets. So they've written their wallet, their public address and their private keys on paper or something like that, to where literally, the information to access their wallet is not on a computer at all. So it can't be reached by hackers. Maybe it could be, if these pieces of paper are in a vault, maybe they could be broken into in some kind of like Ocean's 11 style heist, but that's unlikely. But yeah, so it's pretty much unhackable if it's not connected to the internet. And so only 3% of Coinbase's crypto is actually connected to the internet at all. So I would say you're pretty safe. With that, I'll sign off for the day. If you have questions, like if you run into any issues, you can reach out to Coinbase's support team, although I've had trouble getting a timely response from them, or at least I did in the past month, I think, because they had the two Bitcoin forks going on, and so I think they were just kind of maybe overwhelmed with that and trying to work on those issues. But either way, feel free to reach out to their support, or you can reach out to me on Twitter at HODL Daily. And with that, I'll sign off, and I will talk to you tomorrow.